Hello and welcome to TFT NA Regional Finals, set 9.5, final day, game number 4.
He's also got a lot of upgraded challengers on his bench, and I'm curious if there's ever a spot there, but instead, hey, that's a lot better. Let's take a Vanquisher from a Silver Augment. I think we're very happy with that.
Yeah, that's pretty different than what he had before. I'm really interested by how the Healing Orbs matches up versus branching out in that spot, because Healing Orbs is not like a bad augment. It's just not like super good at 2-1. And branching out isn't necessarily the super good thing either, but I think that this is a good example of something that could have happened that impacts the way a player's going to play. Like, Toronto Tokyo needs a lot of points. He's sitting at 8 points right now. If he's going to make these big finishes, he's going to need to have big advantages come up, and that's what branching out can provide you with. It can provide you with miserable results like a Challenger Spatula, but it can also provide you with fantastic results like a Vanquisher Spatula. We've been seeing these perform well throughout the day. So for Toronto Tokyo, I think he's kind of getting funneled into these spots where risks are the only option he has.
Yeah, and I just love Slaughter Dogs. You gotta see immediately that board from Toronto Tokyo looked very strong, right? Upgraded front line, upgraded back line, the extra traits with the Vanquisher in. And he still lost, and that's just because everyone had these rerolls, so like everybody has these kind of upgraded boards already out the gates. And wow, ooh, Soju extra rerolls and Pandora's bench. This, you were talking about high rolls, this is a way you can get a very high roll spot. He's already on 7 Renekton's. I don't think he cares about playing reroll Renekton, reroll Cho'Gath here. I think he's just like, oh well, I mean, I guess maybe I'll just hit a 3-star Renekton for my early game, and then I can transition to what I want to play later.
Yeah, it's the Slaughter Crocs.
The Slaughter Crocs, yeah.
Wait, is he a crocodile or an alligator?
He's a croc.
Okay, I'm willing to go with it. I just don't know. I don't even know what the difference between those two are.
Honestly, lore-wise, I couldn't tell you, but everyone calls him the croc, so we're gonna just go with that. It's crazy. Of anyone on the desk, I probably would know the lore, and I don't. I don't know it for Renekton.
Oh God, that's so true.
I cannot tell you.
Yeah, you're looking around the lobby right now. It's nothing looks like it's crazy that's been happening. It looks like everything's pretty middling. The biggest outcome it looks like though is definitely Soju's spot. It looks like replay also has the same thing.
Replay. Did you say Pandora's bench as well? He is, yeah, he is. He's Pandora's bench.
Yeah, they're both
replay also going to be looking for that high rolls. And hey, well, T-Lides, we did talk about Graves. Gunner Emblem going to be the setup for this one.
With 6 Graves to start as well, like this is definitely one of the ways that you go this. The Slaughter Dogs definitely open up the 1-cost rerolls a lot more, because you have such a high % chance to hit 1-costs on level 3. Like it's like 75%. It's ridiculously high, and it's one of the reasons why these get opened up in spots like this, because you have so much free gold to do this with. It is such a high boost in power that the logic is like, why wouldn't you take this direction? And frankly, that's a good question. It's hard to say that you shouldn't take that direction. If everyone does this, and the players who are trying to conserve their gold get massively punished because this is happening, you know, that's a win for the entire lobby at that point.
And interestingly, take a look at these boards here, Admirable. Replay is not only also on Pandora's bench, but also has 6 Crocs with the Renektons. We've just determined they're Crocs now.
I'm getting word that alligators have longer snouts, and that's the difference.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I can comment on the nose length of Renekton.
Snout length, okay? Snout length. Don't count them snout. Anybody?
No comment.
Is this thing on? It's a tough crowd.
All right.
Golly, there's so much that, like, look at how many of each that you have. Like, what? This feels like it would have to be a disaster to go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, both replay and Soju, both very close to hitting strong early boards. Neither of them really like committing to Cho'Gath, but it looks like replay's closer to that, right? Because we see the Cassios and the Chos being held as well. Whereas with Soju, it felt more just like, okay, maybe I'll hit this Renekton very early. But yeah, I mean, committing to this line. I mean, you talked about power level for the Cho'Gath line and how when the lobby power level gets higher, Cho'Gath feels worse. And it is like counteracted a little bit if you were to hit the Cho'Gath very early, like say in stage 2. However, it's not quite there. Replay is losing out the stage, and then if he does hit this relatively early, everyone else is still rerolling and getting a lot. Like, I like this approach from Soju better. Hey, look, Renekton 3 on 2-6, very, very early to have this, but it's just going to be his frontliner for the majority of the early game. Maybe he gets to play into Azir later on, and he just gets to reap the benefits of this, but it doesn't have to be something he plays. And I love benching this. Benching a 3-star Renekton because you're on this loss streak. Try and beat Replay. Do you get to Replay? Does not run into him, so they both might be able to hold on to their loss into Krugs.
All of these have been unsuccessfully done so far as well. And when I say unsuccessfully done, what I mean is that when you open your board this way to intentionally lose and get a 5 streak for bonus gold, none of them have faced the weaker opponents in the lobby. They've all been facing someone who's very strong. And you saw that Replay looked like he was going for a very similar thing in that one. So they're all just accidentally taking more damage with it. And I'm certain that, you know, with the way that we've talked about it and how harshly we've seen the downside of losing that 5 streak, it's probably plus EV to change out your board this way. But my gosh, does it hurt when there's actually not a visible benefit to it. When it just comes up that, like, hey, you took extra damage, so that way to ensure that you have this lose streak. Goodness, it just feels like, you know, you're sacrificing like 4 extra health almost.
Yeah, it feels a little rough, but I also think that Soju's spot in particular, also, I mean, honestly, Riri's spot as well, they're very close to having incredibly strong boards. So you get this extra gold now, and then you rubber band your stage 3 and win out there and still continue to make a lot of extra gold. And wow, Replay, Pandora's bench, Slaughterdogs, and going to get a champion duplicator. That is massive for this spot to be able to find some big high rolls later on, but he certainly doesn't want to use it on a 1 cost, and since he's kind of committed to this 1 cost reroll, he might end up having to.
Items are not super hot here, but you know what? I'll take what I can get.
See what we get in the rerolls.
Multiple so we have at least 3 players who are willing to reroll.
Yeah, well, everyone was rerolling at least a little bit, right? Because we're on 3-1, but let's see, I mean, who's pushing more? Replay, of course, right? Looking for the Cho'Gath, looking for the Cassios, and we do see a Graves 3 picked up by T-Lides. There's the Cho.
Very nice, very nice. This was definitely a shovel-in spot. I don't think that doing anything else would have been of very much value here. I think if you choose to hold your gold and not really move this way, you're going to sacrifice too much value to justify it, and you're going to end up in a spot where, you know, despite the fact that you've already sacrificed so much health, you're also not going to get the benefit of this Cho'Gath, you know, perhaps eating some units and picking up some extra stuff. But he's still pretty far behind. The fact that he doesn't have Renekton and that he doesn't have the Cassio 3 here, this is a pretty big setback with how much he had started with, which was almost the full hand. He had almost everything at his disposal right now, and he still is a little bit behind on that one. So Soju sitting there with the Sunfire Cape on the Renekton there, it shows you exactly what his thinking is. It's tempo now. We'll figure out the rest later. Another Bruiser Heart gets picked up for a reroll composition. This is so massive for Replay.
Yeah, that's going to help him out a lot, especially on this level 5, trying to find some wins, turn around the loss streak, getting all that extra HP, easily being able to go to 4 Bruiser, and then he'll easily be able to go to 6 Bruiser later, just has to find Sejuani and Rek'Sai. Very, very helpful for Replay spot, but, you know, again, I just want to call out the fact that we've talked about how Cho'Gath struggles on the high power lobbies, and Slaughterdogs is just so incredibly high power because of all these extra rolls that everyone gets, and this is a comp we have not seen a lot this tournament. Admirable throwback to last patch.
So here's the thing. This Nico line was very powerful before they ended up nerfing it. I think the issue with it, honestly, the previous patch and just the 13.20 before 13.20b was that when this comp won, it felt like it was undefeatable. And when you lost to it, it felt like there was no way to overcome it. So they ended up nerfing this composition a little bit by adjusting mana and power level. As a result of that, we've seen it like not crop up anywhere where you're trying to take advantage of the Ishtal buff in conjunction with the Targon buff that you get, so that Nico and Soraka provide an immense amount of shielding and healing, and you out-attrition everybody else in the lobby. Because it got nerfed, it's incredibly hard to put together, and the circumstances very rare for it. But when it works, it's still quite powerful. It's just that window continues to narrow more and more. That was a spot that I'm very interested in, to seeing if that can succeed in it, because with 2 silver augments, everyone's power is a lot lower, and they're spending their gold now for efficiency. What that means is their cap is going to be lower as well. This might be just the perfect storm for that Nico composition to break through and find a spot to win with.
I mean, the biggest thing for Connor is going to be 4-1. When he gets the extra rerolls from Slaughter Dogs, that's basically his send it time to try and hit the Nico, right? He was only on 1, but he was very close to Soraka 3. That's really going to be the moment where Connor's board should spike heavily, or if he misses, he's just going to fall to the bottom so quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those two. Yeah, I'm not quite confident enough that it's going to work out, but I think it can. I hope it can, because I'm rooting for the rare stuff here.
Yeah, Darth Nub leading the charge, 100 HP on multis. This is where we've seen this comp succeed the most, right? It's not just from having a lot of extra gold by loose streaking and making sure you get that. Instead, it is from a more high tempo spot. Now, obviously, 100 HP, he gets the best of both worlds. Full HP, full streak. He's going to be in an amazing spot, likely to even win out when we see multicasters here, especially if it is not heavily contested. I have not seen a lot of other multis in the lobby, but I do anticipate he is not alone.
Replay going to wrap up with the Dragon's Claw here on Cho'Gath for the item. I'm glad to see that he slammed the Gnasher's Tooth onto Cassiopeia, because you really need that damage rolling ASAP. So that's a big benefit, I think, to replay, recognizing the items in a good spot like that. But I'm very excited to see where all these compositions get taken right now. Darth Nub is running away with the lobby at the moment, and if he can continue this streak throughout stage 3, that is bad news for everybody else. Look at the power spikes here. This is huge for replay.
And he got to maintain this upgraded champion duplicator that he can use on a 4 cost later on, a 4 or a 5 cost, to help cap out the board even further. I think that's actually a really big point for replay to be able to keep that. He's still on Pandora's bench, so he's going to be able to hit a lot of units later on. I think 3-5 being able to put together this entire board feels really good. His HP is a little lower than he would like, but certainly if he can find 6 Bruiser relatively early, and he just needs to start building out some carries, that's going to be the big thing, is getting a lot of extra damage to go alongside it, because his tankiness will definitely be there.
Yeah, this is going to be a very different lobby for the Vanquishers as well, where you're trying to take advantage of the fact that you have like a 6 Vanquisher or like a 6 Ionia, 4 Vanquisher lineup with this. You're taking a little bit more damage, I think, than you normally would, because everyone's spiking early. So for Toronto Tokyo, I think that this gold is going to have to be used pretty quickly, and it's going to have to connect pretty quickly as well, or otherwise it's going to be bad news for him. At 47 HP, with a composition that wants to turbo to 7 and possibly turbo to 8, step 1 is going to be connect some very powerful units. So at 47 health, I'm feeling a little bit wheezy about that spot from Toronto Tokyo. It's not looking super promising at the moment.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be tough. We're gonna get the milk in a second. I just want to call out a stat Crone went and found for us, that Connor is actually the only player to have played Nico Soraka already. On day 1 he played it, and he got a 2nd place with the comp. So Connor actually is comfortable on this, and he has shown results. So that's pretty unique, and I'm with you. I want to see how it pans out. And we'll definitely see more on the like 4-1 roll down, how close he can get to Nico. It looks like he's on 2-star as he fights against Milk, who is setting up for Vanquishers once again. Look at the itemization, right? He is also wanting to go in that direction. He's got the Karma too, but he has not found all his 4 costs yet, just a single Neela.
Yeah, the big difference here is the way that the gold was spent. You know, this Milk is already on level 7. He's already spent the gold and pushed it as well, where he wants to have the stuff in play right now. He wants to have the benefit of natural rolls for level 7, and he wants to make sure he's not just giving up health in a lobby that's already stacked to the brim because of the early super efficient gold and the power level that's here. It's a lot, so why not use the gold and conserve that power when everyone's going to be spiking early in these lobbies? I think that Milk has got the absolute right idea here, and it's showing a reward.
Wow, I didn't actually notice this earlier, but Soju also found the Bruiser +1, but he wasn't staying and rolling like replay was. He just pushed levels because he was like, okay, I'll take my Renekton and I'll just push levels and try and get the Azir online quicker, or at least the carries online quicker, right? Azir is the optimal one. He has one on the bench. He actually had a Mord as well, but he's re-rolling it, still trying to find the Azirs on a single one. But Soju having a really good setup to play the 6 Bruiser 2 carry flex with Azir +1.
Yeah, and this is pretty much exactly what you were talking about as well, is that he might just be good enough with the Renekton. And considering that there were so many Cassiopeias already gone from the pool, I think this was absolutely the right call with this. If you're going to stick and try to land the Cass here, you're going to be giving up a ton of value for what your gold can actually be worth in this. So push your way up, find your items, and find better carries. Because at the end of the day, the carry is going to be what ends up pushing you through to that break point. And for for replay, it's because he was one of the ones who was willing to invest in that Cassiopeia right away that he's one of the ones who's able to walk away having it. For Soju, he just had to change game plans, and frankly, he might show a payoff because of this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this, actually, like, Soju's board feels stronger. Like, the 6 Bruiser, the Ascended Renekton 3 with a Sunfire, there's an Archangels on this Vel'Koz, so all this time, even though, Vel'Koz 2 without well, I guess he did actually get multi in, but without 4 multicaster, a little weaker. But still, I mean, this is plenty of power. It takes so much time. The damage is there. He's actually still able to deal more damage to replay. I mean, Soju's board is quite good. The only thing scary for him is, like, if there's a really high burst board that has a Giant Slayer, then it gets a little bit rough. But overall, I mean, this board should find a lot of wins, and we can see him streaking.
Yeah, I think the big difference on replay's side is that he's lacking the items on the main damage dealer. I think that was the break point for Soju, where he's got technically a weaker carry, but he's got better items, and so the items are going to be making up the difference. Azir gets found now, but so does this Silco that's here as well. I think Silco's going to keep rolling, yeah, because this feels like a game where Soju is primed to actually take a look for 4-cost 3 stars in this lobby. And frankly, because everyone's capped so early on, it's really going to have you understand how much time exactly that you have in a lobby like this. Soju just has the right idea lobby to lobby so far today, and it's just it is paying off in spades right now. This is his time to make it back to a second world championship, it's looking like.
Yeah, I like that as well, because while that Silco is actually really strong for his board right now, if he can find an Azir with that instead, he'd be on 5 Azirs with the Pandora's Bench still able to roll. Then he can start pushing to really cap out and play for first. And I think playing for first, he has the HP to do so. As we see Connor on 5 Nikos. He's still a ways away, but his itemization is quite good. Crown Guard, Titans, these are 2 incredibly good Nico items. Not able to find the win against Weijin. This is 2 losses in a row. He's dropping pretty low overall. But he still has some gold to work with. If he can find his way to Nico 3, he still might be able to stabilize, make it towards that top 4. So maybe if he can live to that 5-1 roll down, he can finish the comp.
I am seeing some crazy augments as we're rolling around this one. I cannot wait to see everything that's going on in this lobby right now. It is some massive stuff that is taking place. Vampiric Blades here. This could be like a really big one as well. But again, T-Lides, he's light on items right now. He needs to get this Graves fully stacked. That's a big one to have. It's looking like he's just going to stick on 6 and try to 3-star as much as he can. He's on a 5 loss streak right now, though. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, this is rough because he wants to hit more of these units. He wanted to hit the Kiana. He wanted to hit the Jinx. But he also kind of wants to go 7 to play Ishtal, because Ice Ishtal is actually very, very good for the Graves. And I just don't think that there's a good opportunity for T-Lides to go there, but that's why he probably hasn't sent it more. He might want to just level. But once he pushes to 7, I mean, he's still missing 3 Jinxes. He could use all the gold to try and get there. It's hard to say what's going to be stronger, but definitely, as you mentioned, itemization hurting him right now. He does not have 3 full items for Graves. Doesn't have 3 full items on the Kiana either. So the power level is still just not getting there, and it's just an open chain fest. I mean, maybe that was enough, but it looks like maybe this Sunfire too much. No, Graves gets the shotgun blast.
Oh yeah, wait.
Oh, gets there. That is a crucial win for T-Lides. He really cannot afford any more losses at this time.
It's making me nervous. It's not even my game.
All right, carousel picks.
Okay. Take a breath here.
Does get the Night Harvester for Graves. I think that's a massive pickup.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw the Graves is sitting on, was it 40% HP like the entire game, and then on a sliver of HP the rest of it. Soju could be lining over.
Oh,
I'm curious if he wants the cloak or if he wants the Scion.
Hello? He wants Scion. No doubt about it. He has good items. He just wants Scion. When he found some Azirs, look, he's on 6 of them.
Yeah, he just wants a Scion, I think.
He's not even playing the Azirs right now.
Yeah, I'm curious.
7?
Wait a second. Is someone paying attention? Hang on. If he buys another Azir, is this like too obvious?
I mean, he's gonna buy it. It's just, when is he gonna buy it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have to time the purchase correctly.
Yeah. Watch out.
Someone's looking. Someone's looking while he bought it.
You getting pinged?
Oh, they know.
They know, but Fiora 2, that he can start rolling that for the last Azir that he needs.
This is exactly, I think, the way he was supposed to take this as well. It's like, how many people have you seen touching Azir in this one? Almost nobody, because their boards are already set up.
And still just playing the carry Kaisa. I suppose with the Spear of Shojin, maybe he feels that this is stronger than just subbing in the Azir.
Yeah, it's giving you Void right now as well.
It's linking Challenger also, so maybe there's a couple things that he's deciding that he just actually likes this a little bit better. Though Kaisa is struggling to get through here, does have a lot of Archangel stacks, and there's not many targets left, so might be able to punch through, especially because the Sejuani with that Dragon Claw just living forever. Here's the overtime, and that will get it done. Soju holding on to so much HP as we see Connor, Toronto, replay all very low, but the lobby HP is so close overall here, Admiral.
You can also accidentally your way into a 3-star Kaisa. You know,
Hey, that's true.
It's definitely not bad, but I would say that Kaisa is one of the worst ones. Now, I think that circumstantially, she's not because of the fact that you're playing 6 Bruiser with a big backline carry that has scaling damage. I think just like in general, though, like 6 Kaisa just kind of like fires a bunch of bolts that deal some decent damage on it. It's not like an impressive thing like Azir 3 is, for instance.
Yeah.
But it's still a 3-star 4 cost. Like, let's stop kidding ourselves.
I mean, as you said, in this game, with all that front line, and then the actual itemization that is there is very good for Kaisa specifically, right? Shojin plus Archangels. So realistically, I mean, yeah, the 3-star should be able to get it done. So I like that he's keeping these options open. He's going for both of them right now while he's still got the power and the gold to do so as the Nico. Still only on 5 copies is Connor, but it's getting it done at least for this fight. Gonna take down Milk, and Connor needs that wiggle room to get to 5-1. It's the extra rolls you'll get from Slaughterdogs might be able to get Connor to that 3-star Nico.
Night Harvester was not enough. Heelide's taking another hit here. My gosh, it's like...
Oh, another Azir! One away!
No way. No way.
He's gonna hit. It's inevitable at this point. He's at 58 HP, and he's rolling every single turn on the bench with the Pandora's bench. He cannot be stopped at this point.
I mean, no one's going for his ear. Like, look around the lobby. Nobody's buying it.
I mean, he should win this lobby. It should be 3-star Azir, 3-star Kaisa. Very likely to happen, both of them, because of just the HP lead he has.
He can't pick up the orb because his bench is full.
No anvil for Soju. He'll have to cycle them out. He's rolling the 5-1 roll down. He gets all these extra rolls from Slaughterdogs. Looking for Kaisa's, looking for one Azir. Doesn't get there. Soju, you gotta
continuing to make efficient use out of this as well, where you're trying to pair up the forecast, excuse me. You're trying to pair them all up so that way you can make sure that you're breaking through with actual 2 stars of these rolling through. It makes it so much easier to put together all of these 3-star forecasts with it. They're just so hard to spend your gold on to hold them that it's so much better to simply 2-star one of them with the Pandora's bench and continuously let it roll.
Yeah, and I love the Quicksilver Slam as well. I mean, he's all but guaranteed. I mean, I'm probably jinxing the hell out of him right now, but he's all but guaranteed to hit this Azir 3. So Quicksilver, the lose condition would be Azir getting like CC'd and stopped. Whereas now, that won't be possible once he gets there. I mean, he should be unbeatable. And Toronto Tokyo, 3 health. Toronto Tokyo once again looking to go into the bot 4. I mean, the lose condition for Toronto Tokyo is continuing to be online.
Wow, big win there for Connor at the end. The replay. It's like, what's going on that side of things? It feels like it's so close to this. I want to see Soju hit this so bad, but it's just like, it's like right there, but it won't happen.
Yeah, it's just not happening right now, and can Toronto Tokyo hold on an 8th place? I mean, that's going to hurt his AVP quite a bit. Soju's pretty much going to be already on top of him when it comes to AVP. I mean, at this point, Toronto Tokyo, considering this is likely a bottom 4, really is hoping that Soju wins this lobby. He's the Soju's biggest fan right now.
Darth Nub and Wei Iverson, they're like long distance pals at the moment. One of them 3-star TF, the other 3-star Vel'Koz on that side. Toronto Tokyo, the board is stacked, but like, is this enough right now? So we've seen the Karma be performing well throughout the day, but again, it was this early power spike that everybody had. And so right now with Milk on Vanquishers on the other side, these are just mirrored compositions at this point. So much of that boils down to the strength of frontline, and it is just not there for Toronto Tokyo. It gets broken through another bot 4, but more importantly for Toronto Tokyo side, this is an 8th place. This is a disaster that's taking place for Toronto Tokyo today.
I mean, all the work he did on the first 2 days trying to carry him through to still make that world championship. But yeah, he is truly Soju's biggest fan right now. He's hoping that Weijin and Soju can hold on to those top 3 spots and help make sure that he can still punch his ticket to Worlds. You see Soju, I mean, still, hey, maybe he's running out of HP, right? He's got these 2 carries. They're very strong. Carousel will help get a 3rd item onto Azir. But he's been rolling for a while, and the Azirs are not coming through. We'll see if anybody's been ratting them and holding on. But I haven't seen really any on people's benches yet.
Here's the thing. Even if he's not finding himself in a first place position, this was about as strong of a spot I think he could have taken for it. This was a valiant effort. It was absolutely the correct call, and he's still finding himself in a position where it's looking like top 4 is going to be in effect for Soju in that spot. So really, he's done the best he can at this point. It's about waiting to see if the effect comes through, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to focus and kind of zoom in on what other players are doing right now. Like with Milk, for instance, Milk came into a spot where it just looked like it was not super well when he had to go Vanquishers in the super stacked lobby, but he found a Vanquisher +1 off the heart, and he found the Freljord +1 off the heart. So that was really the ticket to finding himself in a position where he could top 4, I think, with this, and he's made the most of it as he can at this point. He outlived Toronto Tokyo, who was the other Vanquisher player in the lobby, and Milk right now is 3rd in points. So if he has anywhere near a 4th place finish, that is a fist pump win for Milk in a spot like that.
Yeah, and Connor has fallen. He never got to the 3-star Nico, so that's another reroll out. We've still got T-Lides alive, but just barely playing the Rogues. Has hit 3-star of just about everything now, right? Has the Echo, the Jinx, the Graves. Instead, you know, jumping over to Soju, watch the roll again, doesn't get there. Still looking for it. Actually sells out of the Kaisa. He's getting a little desperate as he lost that last fight.
Oh boy.
Just looking for Azir and does not find it. Soju now, I mean, I know you were saying it felt like it would be good for a top 4, but the HP bars were so close that now it's not necessarily feeling as locked in.
Well, the extra item that he picked up for this, Kaisa's been holding onto this Archangels the entire time. Now, the issue with this is now he's going up against multicasters that have Deathfire Grasp, for instance, so a lot of this front line isn't going to hold as well. The Azir has a scaling item at that point, though, so that's a big difference. For T-Lides, this is a board I'm glad I'm getting to see right now, because when you 3-star everything, if this is not holding up, well, that is a death sentence.
Well, I mean, look at this Capricious Forge onto the Renekton. Such a great holder for it. And look at the items that it rolled. Eternal Winter and Death's Defiance. The thing is so hard to kill for these Rogues and Gunners.
Here we go.
And it's still doing some damage. It's healing through. It takes down the Jinx, but T-Lides holds on as Soju takes a loss as well. Milk at 4, Soju at 5, T-Lides at 11. They are so low. And Soju can't find it. He never gets there. I'm so sorry, Soju. I may have jinxed this one back at the start of the stage. Sells out of it.
Wow. You know what? This is probably better, to be honest with you.
Double Azir. Can it get it done? Can he win one more fight? Hold on for another round.
I'm going to be honest with you. The lack of frontline items here, I think, are really affecting this right now. You have a tremendous amount of HP on your front line, and you don't have necessarily the items to back them up. So that hurts a lot in this one. But again, my hat's off to Soju. He recognized the spot very early, and he took this direction. It was absolutely the right thing to do. Win or lose.
It looks like it will be lose going up against T-Lides. Not able to get positioned around the Rogues. They find the Azirs. Soju, it felt like such a good spot, but he will fall down. Same time as Milk. Soju wins the tiebreaker there. Takes another 5th, and Replay falls. Milk in 6th, Soju in 5th, Replay in 4th. Weijin continuing to run away with the event with another top 3. Darth Nub cracking into that top 3, and T-Lides catching up so much here. He's seeing if he can get another placement as well.
This is a big win for Darth Nub if he can pick this one up. He's sitting at 12 points right now, so he needs the boost. Same for T-Lides here in this top 3. He was sitting at 13 points, and Weijin Iverson, like you said, is running away with this lobby right now. So here's the update on this. Soju's falling back in points here. He's only getting 4 points for this round, up to 21 points. With a first place here on either T-Lides or Darth Nub's spot, that's going to shoot them into 21 points for T-Lides respectively, or to 20 points for Darth Nub. So either way, this first place is absolutely the win that either of these players are looking for. But right now, it's really looking like it's going to be Darth Nub.
Yeah, Darth Nub's spot is so strong here. Slaughterdog's working great for rerolls, and people kind of let him have the multis. He is going to be running into Weijin, who's also on it, but they've both hit different units. We've got the Twisted Fate for Darth Nub versus the Vel'Koz from Weijin. The game scales on. I mean, Vel'Koz does great, but it wants the long fights, while Twisted Fate wants to make them short, and he's making a very quick fight here, but not quite enough as T-Lides falls on the other board. Weijin finds it with the Vel'Koz. D-Lives goes down, and now it's heads up. Multicasters versus multicasters. Twisted Fate versus Vel'Koz.
Yeah, Darth Nub, I think, has an advantage here for a couple of reasons, which is number one, he's got the Deathfire Grasp, which is going to crack the front line sooner. Number two is he's got 83 gold in the bank, where Wajan Iverson's got 22 gold in the bank. So you tell me who you think's going to get the first power boost here. And then the third one is that I know it's a very nominal increase, but the support item is an increase. It's another unit that just gets going to absorb up some damage here and really push through, but at the same time, it's also giving you an effect that is unique and that you don't typically have in a spot like this. The real advantage that Wajan Iverson's going to have is the third augment that he's got in place. Oh my gosh, it's a very big difference if you lock your TF in a corner.
Oh no, Darth Nub, you see him laughing about it. He might still win the fight.
Wait, tactical?
It was stuck in the corner.
Tactical?
It was stuck in the corner, and that's got to be a difference maker here. I do want to take a moment, though. Wajan, by locking in a second place in this game, has qualified to the championship, whether it's through AVP or top 3. He will be in. He has done enough over the course of these 3 days. So we're sending 4 today, but we know one of them is Wajan Iverson. Well done. What an amazing weekend from Wajan.
I mean, just what an incredible finish this is. This is back-to-back world stages that Wajan Iverson's going to make it to. He boasts the highest win rate in lobbies on ladder with a 30% on his account and on his alternate account, and it only took him 4 games on the final day to get that job done. This has just been an amazing run that Wajan Iverson has had over back-to-back sets.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful to see back-to-back championship appearances. Definitely going to be rooting heavy for Wajan to try and replay success from last set.
Chipping away.
It looks like he's chipping away at Darth Nub, as you said. He's making it happen. Darth Nub really wants this first place. This one is massive for him, trying to hold on, make his way to the championship as well.
Yeah, for Darth Nub, there's really no benefit here for Wajan Iverson winning on an average placement performance from his perspective. So he really just wants to defeat Wajan Iverson in this lobby. So Wajan Iverson's been cranking up gold in this spot right now, and there's really not much for him to do other than wait and get this Gangplank 2. For Darth Nub, though, how is this gold going to get spent, and what's he going to do? Because now he's lost several rounds in a row to this, and I think that that's really bad news, all things considered, because, well, he's supposed to be a little bit stronger, but it really is the perfected on the third augment that's making a big difference here. Other than that, their augments are very similar across the board.
Yeah, but I think Perfected Repetition is really just making that gap even larger. You know, and at the end of the day, I think that with these items, the Vel'Koz might just be the stronger carry overall, right? It is a higher costed unit.
Jarvan, second ability.
That's the case. But yeah, the Jarvan in the backline actually making all the difference here. Get the third charge, and that's going to be a lot of damage that's going to hit Wajan, but the Vel'Koz just evaporates the whole board. The healing from the Hextech Gunblade. Vel'Koz took out everything in an instant. Still, though, Darth Nub wins the round. He's just got to get one more.
Gosh, I felt like time froze for a second, and I was like, no. It's like a nightmare watching that Vel'Koz like come out of the third stun and still almost win the round. So yeah, you know, I take it back kind of. I don't know. Maybe Wajan Iverson's got the advantage.
Comes down to that Jarvan getting the extra casts. We'll get 3 of them in that fight, 2 of which actually hitting onto the backline carries. Can the positioning get shifted to save that? No. Jarvan finds the backline immediately once again. His next jump misses Vel'Koz. That can be incredibly impactful in this spot. He doesn't get the third. Now Vel'Koz goes. Does it rapid fire? Yes, it does. Vel'Koz wipes the board. You can see Darth Nub laughing. He knows how ridiculous watching that Vel'Koz is.
What in the world is happening? That is insane.
Wajan trying to go first again. Continue that 50% first place rate across regional finals. Absolutely absurd play from Wajan.
Darth Nub finds a lesser champion duplicator. That could be really big.
Rerolls. Find one more 3-star. Oh, there's the Sona. I mean, he's there. 3-star Sona if he wants it. Extra rerolls. I think he'd rather Vel'Koz, but the Sona's there. Okay, takes the Sona.
Natural.
I mean, even Talia is reasonable. Yeah, Talia, okay. Well,
You know, I'll
too
just have
far
it.
from the Vel'Koz now.
Excuse me, that's a Trickster's Glass, not a Deathfire Grasp. I apologize for that. Oh my goodness, that's a massive difference. Use that early. This is a, oh my gosh. So Wasian's, the Vel'Koz doesn't get caught in the first Jarvan stun. That's a big deal. And it's stunning frontline now, which is not where you want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, the Gangplank making a difference as well, being able to give the CC immunity to the backline, but it doesn't do enough. I mean, that's just too many upgrades from Darth Nub. Finds the first. You see that smile on his face. That better stay there, Darth Nub. Up to 20 points.